Welcome back. I'm Sunny Hostin.
And I'm Joey Jackson. You know, major social media campaigns and thousands protesting, Sunny, across the country after the choking death of Eric Gardner and the shooting death of Michael Brown. But the big question always is, what will become of this growing movement? Is it just something today? Will it fade away? What will be the political, the legal implications to communities? And you know what, Sunny, that really is the issue, right? I mean, there are protesters here, and they're making a difference.
Yeah.
They're international, they're domestic, they're all over, but what's going to happen tomorrow?
You know, I'm convinced, Joey, that this is a seminal moment in our history. I'm convinced this isn't going anywhere. That what we're seeing is sort of what we saw in the Arab Spring, right? We're seeing the millennials, we're seeing a lot of young people, even without a true leader like an MLK, just banding together, joining the protest. We're seeing peaceful protests, and we're seeing it not only just in New York or Missouri.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah. And so while it's in its infancy, I don't think it's going anywhere. In fact, some people were telling me when it gets cold outside, it's going away. Well, it's pretty cold in New York right
and
now.
They're out
and
there.
They're outside. It's really
they're
cold
laying
in D.C.
out there.
They're laying out in D.C. So I think that this is going to be around for a long time. But the issue for me has been, what is the solution? Like, where are we going with it? Look at Washington, D.C. I mean, I've prosecuted cases there for a long time, and they're walking past one of the federal buildings now, and this is significant in our nation's capital, that you're seeing a diverse group of protesters, young, old, black, white. I mean,
it's big.
It's huge.
Absolutely. And you know what? We have Robert Morris Jr. He's a senior fellow. Robert, can you weigh in on that? I mean, we know that a lot of people are out there, and we've been talking about the diversity of the crowd. We've been talking about how it resonates across the country. Is this something for today, or might we look at tomorrow and still see this impact that'll be widely felt?
Right.
What say you?
It's my opinion that we're going to be looking at this for another 50 years, another 100 years, simply because it's my belief that if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. We've looked at race problems the same way for 50 years. In fact, it was this past Saturday that Martin Luther King received the Nobel Peace Prize. In his comments, he voiced some concern about the future of African Americans and the changes that would actually be sustainable. And as we see 50 years later, it is unparalleled to the kinds of conditions he fought then and he had to take care of then. So to avoid what noted historian Henrik Clark called what he described as African Americans are in jeopardy of not being included in the respectful commentary of history, that means we as a people have to take the first step toward reclaiming our communities, where we've let the worst elements often in these communities run these communities. The inmates are running the asylum. Children are killed. Elder people are afraid to go out. And they are killing one another, our young men. And quiet is kept. There are a number of people like myself, as much as I love being who I am and would not change it, will not go through those communities. So with that having been said, I'm focused on long-term solutions and not more protests, even though they do play a part. I'm looking at what are the sustainable changes we can put in place. What can assure us of being in the respectful commentary of history?